Here we
have
go.
been warned.
Yes. So good evening, everybody, for our weekly meeting. And I will share. Hey, come on. Here we go. So, and here we go. That's it. So, do we have any happy, wait a minute. First of all, I need to, oh, here.
I have a sad buck.
Wait a minute.
It was 5 years into the 20th century, and the city of the big...
No, I don't want that. Oh, I'm sorry. It goes to the next one. So yes, you have a happy bucks, John.
No, I have a sad buck.
Oh, nay. Okay.
The company that makes yardsticks says they will not be making them any longer.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for getting that.
Couldn't you explain that joke?
Oh,
They're not going to make them any shorter either.
No.
So when you're starting, John, to go on your ride? In 2 weeks, you said, something like that?
Can't hear you.
You're
You're
muted.
mute,
Oh, you're muted.
mute. There you go.
2 weeks from either yesterday or the day before. I'm going to take my time getting there. Once I get there, I'm going to do some recon on Wednesday and Thursday. And I think Ron's going to be down there. Or I'm sorry, Jim. And just check in, get rested, get ready to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I'm going on my annual cross-country trip.
And where is this cross-country trip leading you?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get up in New England. And then now that we can get into Canada, up in the Maritimes, across Canada until we get to the boring flat part, then down into the US to the boring flat part.
What is the boring flat part?
The plains.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant
flyover
Ohio.
country.
What was that?
So I thought you
He was
meant
just
Ohio.
too nice to say it. Yeah.
Anyway, no definite plan. Bruce Patterson wants to meet up. So I'm going to try and do that with him.
Is the border open?
Yeah, you have to have current COVID vaccination plus 2 weeks. You have to have a COVID test within 3 days. And I think there was one, and you have to do it on their the Canada website. There's some sort of app or something you have to enter it on.
Mm-hmm.
Studying for that test.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, so Rory, I'm sorry that you have thunderstorms going on. We're waiting for that too, because it's so hot that we really expecting every day that it comes really big down. It would be nice because you have the feeling it's so much Spannung, I don't know the word in English, in the air. It need to be clear up. So it's pretty hot down here.
Yeah, it just rolled through here.
Well, that one, Nikki, earlier, there's another one right behind it right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it came
Yeah.
through pretty bad here this afternoon.
Yeah, my son just sent me a text. His 3 trees just missed his travel trailer. And the 2 of them are sitting on power lines, so he can't go out and clean them up right now.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, there's another one rolling in right now. We're up by Ludington, which is about halfway up the state on the west side.
Right.
And there's about a 5-mile stretch. It looked like a tornado came through yesterday.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through, actually a tornado hit Spearfish Canyon right before we went through. Couple, I guess maybe a month before Sturgis. And I got a couple videos of, they had quite a bit of damage going through Spearfish Canyon down in the Black Hills.
Mm-hmm. How long it take you, Mickey, to go to Sturgis? How many miles?
Well, I flew.
Okay. When you
I
go
flew.
by-
Jeff drove them and they had 4 bikes in the trailer. And I think it took them 20,
I'll be right
20
back. I have
hours
to get
and they
some stuff
drove
off the
pretty much
line.
straight through. So
Okay,
they
I
had
just
4
done it.
guys rotating, driving. And it was, Jeff hit a hawk and did quite a bit of damage to the front of his truck. So he's got a big dent. He's out there now assessing the damage for the insurance company. Big hawk was feeding on a carcass in Nebraska, and just big wings came up off the grill and hit him in the front of the truck. So he's got a bit of damage on his truck. But other than that, knock on wood, that was the only incident worth mentioning. So nobody, knock on wood, heard anything on the bikes, but they did experience quite a bit of storms right before the event. And apparently they had quite a bit of tornadoes hitting down right through Spearfish Canyon. And I took some videos, but they're not used to tornadoes like we are in Ohio. So bad storms, we kind of weather them a little better.
Okay. We have some experience in that as well. But more the hurricanes and tornadoes also. In November, in Galveston, they have the annual rally. Last year that get canceled. I don't know, they will make it this year because, COVID is flying over everything again. So the district conference from the district over here, 5890, she wanted to make it in October because of the convention next year. She wanted to make it in October in Chicago, and she just canceled it yesterday. There's only a Zoom convention going on. So yeah.
We stopped at all the federal parks or the national parks. You had to wear masks, but all the state parks you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird. So every time we went into the Mount Rushmore, you had to wear a mask walking through Mount Rushmore, but Custer's state park, so no mask required there. So it's just kind of weird how just generally speaking, we went to Devil's Tower National Park, so mask. No mask, no mask.
Make no
It's
sense.
just kind of
of
strange
that.
where we didn't have to wear them.
Yeah, you're right. So
My daughter went to Sturgis with a group, and she's out there taking pictures at all those places now.
Mm-hmm.
and they sitting there with masks on or with no masks or
No
how they-
masks.
Oh, downtown, no masks.
Mhm.
Restaurants, no masks. Going through any of the national or federal funded masks.
Okay.
So,
What'd you think of Custer State Park?
I love Custer State Park. We've gone there every year, and every year we've seen buffalo. This year happened to be the rut, and not a single buffalo. They were all hiding. They're all being shy.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah, I
missed.
love
We
that
went
park.
through
It's
twice.
beautiful.
We went through twice and didn't see a single buffalo.
That's
And
unusual.
even stopped at the ranger station to ask where they were, because they've got they've got buffalo hunter. Well, they call them buffalo hunters. They don't actually hunt buffalo. They've got ID tags on them so that they know where they are in the park. And unfortunately, they were smack dab in the middle on the dirt roads, so we didn't take the Harleys down the dirt roads. But if you had an off-road vehicle, you could probably have found them. So if you wanted to spend the money and take one of the off-road vehicles or rent an off-road vehicle or go with what they call the Buffalo Hunters. There's a, I guess, off-road vehicle, then they'll take you, and go find the herd on these, like, I guess they're 8-person off-road vehicles that you can, go on a tour of the park off-road, and then they'll actually go find the herd for you. But we were on the paved road through the park, so we couldn't go off-roading on the bikes, so we missed them. But it's a beautiful park. Saw tons of sheep and, prairie dogs and everything else, but no buffalo this trip. But every other year we've had no trouble finding them.
Oh, I saw it, Rory. The pictures from, what you show us in your bag from your property. Wow. Yeah. It's a little bit windy. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Try. Hopefully Jerry's getting home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I see Jerry in a helmet.
Yes.
Well, Jerry and I and Judy and his wife Debbie, we did almost 400 miles the last 2 days.
Oh, cool. Oh, Jerry with helmet.
Hopefully he's not getting wet. You
No,
muted, Jerry.
it's blue in the back, right? You're
Pardon?
muted, Jerry.
You're muted, Jerry.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I'm gonna turn that off in a second because I'm going back on the highway. But everything's clean here, so bye.
Hi,
Good.
where are
Say-
you?
I'm gonna stay on, but I'm just not gonna be on the mute. I'm gonna be muted. I'm on Interstate I-96. I'm off Interstate or 69. I'm off Interstate 69 right now, but I'm going right back on.
Gotta say, you better get home. That rain's coming your way quick.
Okay, thanks.
I've got a friend in the DC area and she was saying there's trees falling down around her house.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, we have quite a few down in Toledo.
Mhm. David looks good too, relaxed in the garden with the cigar, right? Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, guys, I'm so sorry that, the speaker is not showing up. I have no phone number or whatever, so I tried to contact her. I cannot even find her, so I was making research all the time when we have speaker. I look a little bit around and look for more information that I can make a nice introduction. And I couldn't find anything about her. I would need an Instagram account to do that, but I have no Instagram. And
And you know what? I don't think she submitted anything to us, a bio or anything like that for that matter either.
Who is our speaker supposed to be?
She's a Bikers Against Bullying, and she Barbara. I have the name already here.
Celeste.
Yes, and I was checking, her over Facebook, and I found a website, but the website is not really saying anything about this group. Only what they want to do, they want to help the kids, and I think it's a great idea to do that. But there's not really information on this website, so I was a little bit disappointed.
They are relatively new. They have a chapter.
2014.
They're based up in what is that? I'm gonna call it East Texas, and I've met her, so I know she exists, and I know she has this cause. I actually worked with her on a small project, but like anything else, people say yeah, I'll commit, and then they don't. So.
Yeah, it's always.
Okay, I've got something ready to go if you want it.
Yes, please. You're more than welcome, John.
You know how much I like to hear myself talk.
I don't know, but we will know.
All right, let me call this up.
Requirement for the role.
Give me a second here.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
We can.
Okay, slideshow. Okay, this is my latest one. I gave it to the Rotary Club of Harrisburg couple of weeks ago, and there were actually some people in the audience who stayed awake.
Mhm.
That was a
In
bonus.
1979, Rotary, which is you and me because we're Rotarians, made a promise to the children of the world that we will eradicate polio from the planet. Our current goal is to have it done by 2026. Quite honestly, I don't know where to go from here. I could show you lots of impressive statistics. For instance, the number of wild polio cases year to date is 2. And the last one was actually in January. There have been no girls who've had polio, wild polio reported this year, 2 boys. And the only 2 countries that are not polio free are Afghanistan and Pakistan. You and I, because we're Rotarians, have reduced the number of polio cases from about 1,000 a day to 2 this year. I could also show you that $3 is the average cost to fully protect a child against polio. I could also show you that 430 million children were vaccinated in 2017. And I could also show you that it cost $100 million to conduct polio surveillance, and that is detecting it in the sewage systems of these third world countries. But since statistics are boring, I'm not going to do that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a picture of my friend John Nanny. John Nanny is a member of a Rotary Club in New Jersey. He contracted polio when he was a child, before there were vaccines available. He is confined to a wheelchair. He is an excellent speaker. He may have even spoken to our club. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we had. He was in our club twice, I think.
Excellent. This is John. You will notice that it is just from the torso up. His mother refused to have his braces shown in this picture because back then having polio was a thing of shame. You didn't want your neighbors to know that there was polio in the household because it was so contagious. I could show you this picture, which as a Rotarian you've all seen. This is a polio place somewhere in America. All these, thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. Somewhere in America. We don't use these anymore because the United States has been declared polio free. But how are those 2 pictures relevant? This is a picture of a man somewhere in India. He's called a crawler. He crawls from place to place begging for money so he can eat. These are some kids in Africa who contracted polio. And they're very lucky because they have crutches, but you'll notice that their legs are quite misshapen. There's no cure for it. There's prevention, but there's no cure. This is another man in India. He's crawling around on his hands and knees, begging for money. And I believe this was taken in Delhi. Yes, this young man in Africa is quite fortunate because he's got this hand-driven cart to get around. He can't walk, but he can get around. And I believe that cart was provided by Rotary. And polio is just so easy to prevent. Like many diseases, you can prevent it with a vaccine. This is my friend Peter. We went together to India 2-3 years ago, and he's administering the 2 precious drops to a child in India.
Huh? The good thing is strapped down.
To do what?
Never seen it like this. I'm sorry, just comment on the storm coming through in front.
Okay. Now, you may say these pictures aren't relevant because this is America. This is the best picture I could get. This is Dubai or someplace. Polio is 16 hours away from us. Somebody coming in from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan could bring it to North America. and we could have a whole new set of polio problems. So this is what me, John Cram, past district governor, and Polio Now coordinator, and winner of the 4th grade Perfect Attendance Award, am asking of you. Support polio eradication with your donation to Polio Plus in the amount of at least $45 a year. I don't know if the club's district has a Polio Plus Society. It's not even a year old. It's like the Paul Harris Society, except you pledge to donate at least $100 a year. And this is clearly oriented toward my district. Become a Polio Plus major donor. Also on the chat, I included a link to where you can donate to my Polio Plus ride for my annual ride this year. Many thanks to a couple people on this have already donated, and I thank you very much. My goal this year is $10,000. I promise you that we will use the money wisely. This is how the money is spent. Now, this is clearly more than the $50 million that we try to raise every year, because it includes the Gates Foundation and it includes the End Polio or the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. But it's used into research, technical assistance, getting people out to immunization days, the actual vaccines, surveillance, which is a critical part of eradicating polio, and operational support. You can do this on myrotary.org, endpolio.org. You can mail a check to our club treasurer, and I don't think we have it available on our club's billing system. I don't know the answer to that. By the end of 2023, we want no polio cases reported in the world. And we're doing well because we've only had 2 since January. So that's it, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I've got a question for you, John.
Yes, please.
So currently the hot topic globally, of course, is this Corona thing. Are there any variants of polio that that are threatening to break through our existing vaccines?
Yes, there is a vaccine-derived polio case. The number, especially in Africa, is like 120, 140. I'm not sure what the exact number is. It is something that appears in unvaccinated children. The good news is there is a brand new vaccine. It's an oral vaccine that has been released, and it apparently does not cause the vaccine-derived polio case. But yes, it's a variant. It's when we report the 2, it's the wild polio vaccine. The vaccine-derived polio cases come from unvaccinated people who come in contact with it, usually through sewage. Good question, though. Other questions?
Okay.
I've got another one, actually. I'll monopolize the floor here. John, I'm suspecting, and this is just me being relatively new to Rotary, that there is a little bit of fatigue at the polio message within Rotary and people looking at other things. What do you hear about that? What do you know about that?
There is fatigue, and there absolutely is. And getting people motivated to donate to it can be a challenge. They haven't announced last year's fundraising efforts and how we did, but it's looking pretty good. Rotary pledges to raise $40 million a year through either individual contributions, club contributions, or the transfer of district designated funds to Polio Plus. If that happens, the Bill, I don't know if it's the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation anymore, but they have agreed to match 2 to 1. So that if you donate $100, say to my drive, Bill and Melinda Gates will donate $200. But keeping awareness up is critical because it has not disappeared from the face of the planet. We have it under control, but we still have to, it's that last inch, it's that last yard to get across the goal line.
Yeah, I think it's probably a lot like COVID that way, where people's like, oh, I don't know anybody who got it, so it must be a myth or something.
And the trouble is polio is debilitating. It's preventable, but not curable.
Yeah.
On my trips to India, we always go to this hospital in Delhi. It's the only ward in all of India. This Rotarian / doctor does corrective surgery, but all that does is it allows kids who are now teenagers, young adults, to be able to walk with crutches, which is considerably better than not walking.
And stories have been really helpful to me.
Most of my experience is, of course, India. We had a meeting this morning of polio coordinators, and Mike McGovern, who is the primary lead for Rotary International, announced, Afghanistan and Pakistan, wherever the Taliban is, those people do not want their kids to get polio.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody keeps shooting polio vaccinator guards. So, it puts kind of a damper on vaccination efforts.
But what reason they have to, kill the vaccinator? I cannot understand that.
Any other questions? I encourage you, if you don't want to support
Hey, John.
if you don't want to support mine, send something directly through my Rotary. Yeah, Jerry, you had some question.
Yeah, I don't know if I've donated to yours yet or not, but I will be doing that. I've also want to point out that past district governor in our district, Lynn, Oregon is raising funds right now for polio. He's doing it with a pledge for his walk across the Mackinac Bridge and back, which is on Labor Day weekend. And my fundraiser for, encouraging me to run this marathon is now at something over $300 a mile, and I'm hoping to hit about $1,000 a mile when I get fully supported. Okay, just giving you an update. There's an opportunity there too.
I appreciate that. I don't care how you donate to it. We've got to end this disease. It would be the second disease that we've ever eradicated from the face of the planet. I put the link up to my personal donation. When you donate, you get the credit. It goes toward Paul Harris Fellow points. I don't get it. It goes to your account.
Yeah, this is what I'm, always telling the people they want to join our polio ride. And so when I'm looking for sponsors and they are Rotarians, so the credit goes directly to them. And, not only what you pay, the double from Gates come in top as well. So my, for example, 150 will 450 finally on my account, right?
No, you will get that. You will get $150, but Polio Plus will get $450.
This is what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what this club's district does as far as transferring DDF to Polio Plus. Here's the deal. If the district transfers DDF to Polio Plus, the World Fund will match that 50 cents to the dollar. And then the Bill and Melinda Gates will match that amount 2 to 1. So the multiplier becomes 4.5 to 1. So
this district for many years has donated on the order of $20,000 or $25,000. So
and what
like day one on DDF.
There are so many districts in the world that do not use all of their DDF. It's in the millions of dollars.
What is DDF? What is DDF?
District designated funds. So when you talk to the district governor, ask him or her, is the district transferring DDF to Polio Plus? And we're looking for 20%.
DDF is the source of the funds for those district projects that we put in for, like the tree project coming up. And DDF is a certain portion of money that comes back to the district from the giving that was given 3 years ago. It comes every year to the district, and they distribute it out for different programs that the district's particularly interested in, and they're strictly foundation programs.
Did everybody get that?
Yeah.
If not, when we donate to the annual fund, and each of us, I hope, donate something to the annual fund, in 3 years, half of that comes back to the district for use within the district. And this is where we get Mickey's application for our club, global grants, et cetera. But so many districts don't use all of it. We donate, you and I donate to do good in the world, not to build a bank account.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I encourage you, Dave, when you're talking to the district governor, hey, send 20% of the DDF to Polio Plus. Any other questions?
I just followed that link there, John, and chipped in. And my company has a match, so this is still the same 501c3 as Rotary International, right?
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
They'll do matching as well, which is really nice. And Thermo Fisher just bumped their company match to, I think, 150%. Up to, I don't know if they'll throw in like $1,500K a year. So pretty generous company.
Yes, we are.
Can we find this information somewhere without, so when I want to check if the district is doing that, can I see that, or I only have to ask a treasurer, for example, from the district?
I'm not sure. What's your question?
The information, if they're using DDF, okay? Can I found that somewhere on a website, or in the bylaws or whatever?
I don't know if a club president has access to the DDF report on my Rotary. Jerry, do you know? Yeah, Jerry's writing.
I don't know if we have access to that information. You got a fantastic district governor, Ute. You've got a fantastic assistant governor. Send them an email. They'll send you the info.
Yeah, don't worry. I have her email address, and she's responding very quickly all the time. So she's pretty good. Yeah.
And again, you're armed with the knowledge that DDF, the multiplier is 4.5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because World Fund matches and the Gates Foundation matches.
John,
Jerry, what color is your bike?
John, you're to be commended. You're doing a great job, and what an advocate we have. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I know I'm doing a good job because 2 of the 22 district governors that I work with called me an asshole from last year. So I know I'm on track. Not many people know, but I'm a polio survivor.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
I was very fortunate because by the time I contracted it, I'd have, back in the 50s, there were 3 vaccinations, and I'd had 2 of the 3. So I just had a minor case.
Mm-hmm. We have one polio survivor in our district here as well, Wayne. I think we talked about him the last time. You know him, I think. You met him one time. Wayne Stanton.
What was the name?
Wayne Stanton.
I think so.
Yeah.
Looking around, perhaps everybody except David and Scott knows somebody who had polio. It was widespread.
Bob Muchler. Yeah.
Young.
I didn't know anybody before I met Bob who'd actually had polio.
Mm-hmm. And I know another.
That's what I'm posting in the Facebook post here. It's like, do you know why you don't hear much about polio anymore? Because it's been almost entirely eradicated. So yeah, I'm putting a little pitch here.
There's that key word, almost.
Almost,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, so thank you very much, John, for your presentation. Very nice, very short. I like it.
Thank you.
It's all the important facts on it, so yeah. And David, make us dinner, I see.
Looks like it.
Only kidding.
And thank you all for staying mostly awake.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm really looking forward to meeting people down in Maggie Valley. It's going to be, it seems like everybody who's going has been vaccinated, but typically motorcyclists as a group don't vaccinate. So it should be interesting when we get down there.
I think so. Well, North Carolina, I mean, they've got a really low vaccination rate, but I was there this May and nobody was wearing masks by and large. Now in Minnesota, where I was in June visiting my folks, my family back there, vaccination rate's pretty high and mask usage was moderate, particularly indoors, people would mask up. And then I'm scheduled to take a business trip here at the end of this month. I'll be motorcycling with some colleagues in Germany on Labor Day weekend. And I expect to see a lot more masks there, even though we're going to be in a fairly rural area.
And you will need the vaccine to getting over anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where are you going,
by the way,
Scott? Where are you going?
I tossed it in the chat here. So the office that I'm visiting, and I've been there many, many times, maybe a dozen times at least, in Darmstadt, just south of Frankfurt, between Frankfurt and Heidelberg. And this time, our destination varies for the annual rally. And almost every time I've made it coincide with a business trip because it's convenient, to have, once I'm over there, if I have to choose a date for the trip, it's like, let's plan it around the time I'm riding with colleagues. So in the chat there, I threw that up. And I don't know, Uta, you might be able to comment on Gasthofspecht or the area that it's in based on the link.
Yeah, I know.
It's in the former East Germany.
Yeah. It's everywhere. It's nice. So, and the weather right now, they were getting warm. I just talked with a friend today and they were getting a warmer weather. It's coming up because it was very wet, but you have to be prepared. The COVID comes again. So, they don't want to close everything, but it will get a fourth wave they're expecting. So without vaccination, I think it's very, hard to travel anyway. I cannot be there. I'm very sorry. I would like to.
I don't suspect I'll be riding with IFMR folks like I did back in 2019 this trip, but I'll be meeting with colleagues in the office in Darmstadt, and I fully expect we'll all be masked. That they're not necessarily enforcing distance, but I also think the majority of the colleagues there will be vaccinated, but still requiring masks.
Yeah, Darmstadt is beautiful. I worked there for 3 years. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, and Chris was there too because when he was in Germany and working, he's an engineer as well, and there was a company in Darmstadt he worked with, and one time he was there and it was snowing like hell, and he had a rental car, a BMW with not winter tires. In Germany you have winter tires in the winter time. From O to O, we says from October to Eastern. It's Ostern in Germany, so Eastern. This is the time frame. They're using the winter tile, and it's more than recommended to do that because it can be really, winter and things like that going on. So, and he's stocked with a BMW. It's not the right car for the winter time, right? So he's stocked in a ditch, and there was people coming up and helped him, and he called them in German, and they didn't respond, and then find out because in Darmstadt was also American soldiers stationed, and that was American soldiers. They helped him out with a BMW. It was really great for him. Yeah, great experience. But
what a great place to be stationed. Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful, and especially in downtown, you have so many neat places you can go. It's incredible.
Yeah, we'll be once again staying at the Welcome Hotel there near Herrengarten. And Stadtmitte, which is, you know, all the pedestrian zones. And
Stadtmitte is downtown. You know that, right?
I do. I know a little bit. Just enough to get me in trouble. Just enough to say something in German, and if somebody answers me in German, they expect that I'll understand. It's like, I don't understand what you just said.
But they speak, the most of them speak English, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. This time I'll take I think I'm taking out the FX 900 or it's a BMW. There's a Darmstadt Cycle Center I've been renting from for some years.
Okay.
And I try to take something a little different every time.
There's also a place close to Frankfurt, and they make big rentals also. They have all kind of motorcycles. If you want, I can give you the address.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The place in Darmstadt is very easy when I have a colleague drop me or bring me there to drop off the bike, pick up the bike. So, but yeah, I do appreciate that. In other ride news, Larry Trippett and I have set up something for a Southwest ride, and I've targeted October 9th for that.
Okay.
So we're talking about meeting in Sacramento, doing something Sierra Foothills. I haven't exactly planned the route yet, but you know, something to figure out, and finally use that banner that I think Jerry sent me that's been sitting in my closet for a year or something because of the pandemic. So thank you, Jerry, for sending it. And yeah, I actually do intend to make use of it.
I would check Sacramento.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a fun place in and of itself, but close enough to the mountains.
1,621 miles from us.
So you're joining us then, is what you hear you saying.
Wow. Why everything is so far, it's unbelievable.
Scott, will bike rentals be available?
You know, I think there are bikes out there. That's an interesting question for that timeline. I currently have a second bike available. Maybe it needs a water pump on it. I've got it listed for sale at the moment. It's a 2007 ST 1300 PA with 88,000 on it. It's not like I urgently need the money, but if most of the bikes are mostly sitting because of the pandemic, right? I'm mostly working from home. I don't commute very often. Having two big bikes out there plus the scooter is a little silly. And yeah, if you were interested in coming out here, the other thing we do is besides the bike rental agencies, my son's got a 2008 Ninja 650 with only 16,000 on the clock, available on Twisted Road for rental, $50 a day, which is cheap. And he's been renting it more than he's been riding because he's not really he hasn't gotten comfortable enough to take it out on the open road or on the freeway yet. More just around Alameda, which is, relatively speaking, it's like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood here. So if you're interested in joining us, I'll see if I can help you line up something for a bike.
Well, I'm definitely interested. I spent about 6 months in San Francisco up at Mare Island, and would like to get back into the riding out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
They have a lot of hills also, right, in this area. It's pretty hilly.
Yes. Yeah, Alameda is an ancient sandbar. We're right off the shore of Oakland. It's an island, but I drive, 15 minutes, half hour. I'm up in the East Bay Hills, and of course, there's easy access to San Francisco and the peninsula, and Alice's Restaurant, the site of an old Kawasaki commercial from probably the 1980s. But all kinds of wonderful roads up in the San Francisco Hills or the East Bay Hills. A lot of nice twisty stuff I could show you around.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think the reason we ended up with all of the East Coast colleagues running the May ride in Tennessee was just because, Tennessee or North Carolina, a lot of the guys live back there, and it's cheaper to go back there if you're from out of state. but I think folks resist coming out to California to take a motorcycling vacation because it's so damn expensive, but it's really nice.
Yeah, that's why I said.
I have a good friend who lives up in Sacramento who is part of an MC called the Seekhead Saints. And he just always posts beautiful pictures. I think they're actually in Oregon right now. I think they went up to Oregon and Washington, and they're doing some, I think they're in their yearly ride. It looks like fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to, I mean, that's been one of the nice things about working with a global company and not being shy about being a motorcyclist. And we kind of come out of the woodwork and draw each other together. So that's led to the East Coast rides, to the rides in Singapore with friends over there or in Germany. And the IFMR is kind of a key to doing a lot more international riding or in other parts of the country too, like with this club. And on that note, would you send me a link?
From somebody from the Philippines also, IFMR.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
I was looking through my email kind of casually last night to sign up for Houston next year.
Yeah.
And I'll probably share a room out there with Jerry, but I didn't sign up for the convention yet. It's like, oh crap, now I lost the link. So if somebody would be kind enough to send me the link, I'll make sure I actually get signed up for it. It's in my little notebook of stuff to do.
There are two links. The one is that the Rotary International, they have an own link, and the link for the Houston, I send it in again. Houston RRI 2022.org. This is for the host events when you want to go and make, because there's two host events in the Space Center, per example. It's limited on 3,000 people, and the Discovery Green event also, that's the first one. Even it's also limited. It's only one time, and so you have to sign up there as well. I don't have right now for the Rotary International thing for the convention at all, but I can find it out and send it later to you. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So if you are okay with that, we could start the board meeting a little bit earlier tonight, and we would end the meeting earlier a little bit.
Once again, I've got to jump off for a 5 o'clock with work. We've got a phone call coming up with APAC.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. What do you think, guys? Can we do that? What it means, David. Wait.
Excuse me.
It's American Sign Language for yes.
Okay.
Which is different than this, right?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
I have to go use the toilet.
And I will say thank you for tonight.
Like this?
Yeah. Then I would say thank you for tonight for the meeting. And I'm sorry that we missed the speaker, or the speaker missed us finally, right? And so we will see you next week. And now I will stop the recording, and then we will start the board meeting. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Here we go.